of learning motivation. Like I said in the beginning, the learning motivation comes from their parents, their relatives, or teachers. But none of them actually have the learning motivation that they need to success in English. Next is the inappropriate study method. So a lot of students in both university or in other grades learn in the most appropriate way. They just have a way to learn on their own, but sometimes their learning methods are not quite actually the proper way to learn English and to access the demand. The fourth one is lack of practice environment. So not a lot of students know that how to practice English speaking fluently, and a lot of them, even though they are good at English, but they're still very scared to express their feelings and their communication skill in real life. Finally is theory-heavy curriculum. So a lot of the activities for students outside, the teachers do not actually organize the event in English subject. They just want the students to know about other things but not in English. That's the most concerned things about them. And then the last chart that I have here is the technology usage for the students in university or any other grade. There are 88% of the population, as we know, use the English technology to learn, but when they learn for a short time, they just think that it wasn't suitable for them, so that they quit and not using those technology apps like Duolingo or Speak, Grammarly, like I said earlier. And only 12% of the students use this English technology weekly. Like they just use it in a very long time and just knowing that they can work well with the English app. There are four main parts of the discussion. One is the learner-related factors. So many students study English because of it mandatory, not because of intrinsic motivation, like Gardner theory of integrative and instrumental motivation. Learning strategy are weak, focusing on rote memorization instead of practical application. The second one is the teaching methodology. Many classes remain grammar focused and lack of real-time feedback. According to Krashen model, comprehensible input is crucial for language acquisition, but it has yet to be implemented effectively in most countries or in classrooms.
Hoàng Anh.
The third one is the learning environment. Students have few opportunities to interact in English, but outside the classroom, but an immersive language environment is almost non-existent, which means that the students do not practice how to speak English outside the classroom, impairing students' responsiveness and communication skills. And the final one is the technology integration. Despite high potential, that the use of technology in English is fragmented and usually unsystemable. The study has shown that blended learning with AI, chatbot, and micro-learning skill boosts effective by up to 30%, which means they can use any kind of technological app like ChatGPT or Grammarly or some other kind of chatbot. So there are three main proposed solutions to this problem. Number one is the enhanced learning motivation, which you can design goal-oriented course linked to the specific career path and invite international speakers for online sharing sessions to inspire students to express their opinion about English outside the classroom and in real life. Second is to expand practice environment. We need to establish English club, host debate workshop and international exchange so that students can have more motivation and inspiration to learn English. We can also collaborate with Language Center to offer communication-based internship so that the student can have their most secure knowledge about communication to be able to communicate in real life with foreigner or other Vietnamese people who are good at English. The last one is the institutional support. We can review and adjust our course standards to better reflect real-world demands. Provide financial aid for students attending international English programs. So, like in other words, when you are sending your kids to English Center, you can encourage them to study this center more, and if they are suitable for you, then you should just propose this as hard as you can, and that way your parents would know that you have enough motivation to study in an English center. And in conclusion, learning English is a long-term journey that requires a lot of motivation, methodology, environment, and technology. This study showed light on the reasons behind the ineffective reason of learning English amongst the Vietnamese university students and offers feasible evidence-based solution. In an increasingly globalized world, improving English proficiency in the young generation must be a strategic priority in higher education. So what this means that the acquirements for the students to learn English is now on a super high level, which means that almost every student right now in Vietnam or any other country should learn English as their own second language. And when they know their birthplace language,